Here we go. All right, so we're starting on page 37, and so this is a continuation of a problem. See, it's part D, and so let me remind you let me tell you what problem this is coming from. So this problem comes from the one with the 30 bipolar patients, okay, and we were trying to see if omega-3 would alleviate their bipolar symptoms. Okay, so that's the scenario this problem is coming from. So part D, it says, suppose that some of the 30 subjects were very active who walked a lot or got very vigorous exercise several times a week, while others tended to be more sedentary, working office jobs and watching a lot of TV. Explain how this level of exercise might confound the experiment. So what could happen with our just putting everything in a big bag, shaking well, and pulling out things? Yes, ma'am.
Laura, do you want to know
Kylie?
the effects of working out would like interfere with the experience?
Yeah, sure.
Well, it would doesn't working out release a hormone that actually makes you happier, like dopamine?
Yes, working out, endorphins releases endorphins. So that could be, what would happen if we got a whole bunch of people, mostly exercisers, were in this group? That happened to also be the omega-3 treatment group. And these would be what happens if random assignment, big bag, got mostly sedentary people who do not get that extra endorphins and they had the placebo. Then what's the issue whenever we come measuring and we look for a cause?
It's unbalanced.
Okay.
The endorphins will make it seem like the omega-3 is working when really
Good.
just the exercise.
Perfect. So if this ends up being the group that is happiest and messes and loses their bipolar symptoms the most, then can we tell a cause? No, we can't tell a cause because a confounding variable clouds the issue. You can't claim a cause. We don't know if they are improved because of exercise or if they are improved because of the omega-3. So we need to control that situation, and that's one of the things we're going to learn about today. Just like a while ago, we needed to control their workout or where they work and that kind of thing. So what we want to write here is that random assignment could put too many of the exercisers in omega-3 group and then we could not claim a cause of improvement in that case. Okay. All right, so we need to be aware of that, okay? So if there is something that we know we should control this, then we got to do it, and that's what I'm going to teach you here in a minute. Now, here I had you listen to, while I was coming around stamping, I had you listen to the randomized song because there are really two things why it's important to randomize the subjects. If I'm back to 30 subjects, why is it important to randomize? Let's say that the exercise wasn't an issue. I could count on it putting them into these groups, okay? So what is the two reasons that I need to randomize? One of them. Okay, good. I just heard both of them. We want to randomize to reduce bias. Randomize to reduce bias. Reduce bias. Randomize to reduce bias. And then also, so that's one thing. The other thing is when you need to spread, what? Unknown traits evenly. When you need to spread unknown traits evenly. Because then it makes my groups the same. So the treatment is the Y. Makes the groups the same, so your treatment is the Y. So when you need to spread unknown traits evenly, randomize. All right, very good. Okay, so there's that. Now I want to go ahead and head on over to page 40 and start today's notes on this thing called blocking that is going to help us fix this part we need to control. So we passed our little frappies that we went over a minute ago, and we are here. Okay. So, first I want to ask you about something from Friday. You make an experiment. What do you do?
Control, randomize, repeat.
Perfect. Okay. So, you mentioned that the first thing we need to make sure we do is control, and then we randomize. Well, guess what? We have just discussed that there are some things that we need to control, and we need to acknowledge that we need to control it, so we're going to talk about how to do that. So, in fact, down here, right here, this little paragraph is important. Blocks that are used to blocks are used to control the effects of an extraneous variable, like exercise, or like how much time you spend outside working, and the boots, okay? Smoking, cholesterol level, weight, age. Okay, so blocking will help you control a variable that you need to handle. Okay, and so what you want to do is you want to block by the variable that will most highly correlate with what you are trying to measure. Okay, so let's talk about that. Here we have this problem again with bipolar disorder. Same situation. We realize that very vigorous exercise several times a week can affect the situation. So what is it that we need to control? Exercise. Okay, so let's discuss how to do that. So I don't want to make it, so don't write this down, but this is what I want to avoid. I want to avoid a whole bunch of exercisers here with omega-3 and the non-exercisers here with the placebo. That's what I want to avoid. So therefore, I'm going to control it up front. And how do you think you could do that?
I just have a question. So
Okay.
Are you trying to put no exercisers with the omega-3 or just a few?
Aha. So I just want to how can I make sure I don't compare exercisers to no exercisers? How can I?
Just don't let exercises be in it.
Okay, that actually is kind of along that sounds kind of silly, but that's getting closer to the answer.
Don't let them exercise.
Don't let exercisers, well, what we're going to do is let them do their natural thing. We don't want to make them not.
Ask them and then get those people that exercise and then I don't know how to explain, randomize it again.
Yes. Okay. Yes, you're thinking in the correct direction. What we want to do is take our 30 bipolar patients. We're going to draw a picture, a quick picture. Take our 30 bipolar patients, and we're going to ask them, because we want to have them in a natural state, because that could affect our results. We are going to block them by what they naturally do. Blocking is a way to control. I'm going to block them I'm going to ask them first off, do you exercise regularly? And if they do, they go in the exercise block. If they do not exercise regularly, then they go in the non-exercise block. So non-exercisers. Now I am going to do an experiment. I'm going to strap me cap with just exercisers. Think about it that way. Which kind of you were saying, do it with just non-exercisers. Well, guess what? I'm going to strap me cap with the exercisers and see if there's a result. And I'm going to strap me cap with the non-exercisers and see if there was a result. So they get to only be compared against their own kind of exercisers. So here's how that'll look. Okay, so let's strap me cap. Let's start with exercisers and strap me cap it. So start with exercisers. Now what? Oh. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of shortcut it. Randomly assign, there's my randomly assign with the asterisks to what? Omega-3 and the placebo. So there's my treatment. Okay, then what am I going to do after that? Measure each exerciser's response. Which is like how much they've improved their bipolars. Okay. Then what? They're
Fair.
compare the average of the two groups. So I'm capping with just exercisers against exercisers. So now there's nothing messing it up. Now what do you think? What's next? Do the same thing with the non-exercisers. So we don't want to have to write it all over again. So we say, repeat the above experiment with the non-exercisers. There we go. So that takes care of that. So we would do that. All right. So no problems. Okay, you know how to strap me cap, but I'm telling you, looky here. Here's the thing that you don't of this. Here's what you need to learn how to write down. You need to learn how to write a paragraph with. What part is missing from our paragraph that I haven't taught you how to do? This. You know how to do it from here on out. This blocking part. So I was trying to figure out, since this strap me cap is new, I was trying to figure out, okay, how are we going to do this with blocking? So I've come up with, here we go. We don't strap me cap. We, ready for it? And so then I'm going to go over it with you. So we babrat me cap. It's got to have that little stutter in there. Babrat me cap. We'll get it all in there for you. So let me teach you what the b is in the front of your sentence, okay? What do you think the B stands for in the first place? Yes, so we realize there's something we need to control, so we go, hey, block 30 bipolar patients into exercise and no exercise blocks. Okay, that's the first B. Here comes the second B. Because why? What is the exercise possibly doing that's messing up our thing?
It can cause happening.
Yes, good. Exercise can affect bipolar symptoms. Okay, so that because has to reference what you are measuring. Because exercise can affect bipolar symptoms. All right, that's your b-b. Now, we wrap me cap by doing this. What did we start with? I mean, here, there are a little start with the exercisers. So we kind of got to, yeah, so let's, in the exercise block, so let's describe everything in the exercise block. In the exercise block, wrap me cap. Okay, so in the exercise block, wrap me cap, period. And of course, you would write that in sentences form. Okay, I'm just shortcutting, telling you what to do. Got it? And then after that, what do I need to do? Repeat above experiment in the non-exercise block. Period. Done. That's babrat me cap. Okay? I like it. Go ahead.
If we're writing one of the responses for it, we would write like one whole paragraph for the exercises and then another whole paragraph for the non-exercises.
You would write one whole paragraph that's perfect for the exercisers, and then you write a sentence that says, repeat the above,
Okay, so that's all you have to write?
yes, I
Okay.
don't need to do a whole new paragraph for the
You
non-exercisers.
have to do conclusion
Do you have to do what?
and compare.
Like write compare.
You do not, in the end, you do not compare exercisers to non-exercisers. So once you wrap me cap the exercisers, that's done. So you repeat you do the wrap me cap with the non-exercisers, and that's done. You don't ever do any more cap, no
It's
more.
like testing two different variables.
Yeah. What would happen if you compared, this is a good question, what happens if you compared this answer, this to this? What happens if you compared this the red section to the blue section? What are you really comparing?
If exercise and
Exercise to non-exercise. And that's not what the problem's about. It wants to know about omega-3. Okay, you see why we don't cap at the end. Okay? So no cap at the end, because that would tell you if exercise is working. Okay. Very good. So now we're going to skip page 41 because that is a matched pairs design that we're going to do on Wednesday. And we're going to go to number 3 here and do that. This is a Bratme cap. And then number 4 is listed as homework, but it's a matched pair. We're going to do it on Wednesday instead in our lesson. Okay? So no homework tonight. Oh my gosh, you're so excited. I'm so good. Okay? I am the best AP Stat teacher you have. Yes, that's right. No homework tonight. Yay. Okay, but let's do number 3 and see what we need to do with that. So here we go. Number 3. You are participating in the design of a medical experiment to investigate whether a new dietary supplement will reduce the cholesterol level of middle-aged men. 60 randomly selected men are available for this study. It is known from past studies that, okay, on AP exam, they will not ever have you need to control more than one trait at a time. Unless they want you to match pairs, which we'll talk about that tomorrow or Wednesday. So this says smoking and weight. You won't ever have to do that on an AP. So I want us to eliminate smoking and. That is gone because you will never need to know how to do those 2 at a time. So it is known from past studies that weight can affect cholesterol levels in men. Okay, so weight can affect cholesterol levels in men. So describe a design, an appropriate design for this experiment. So that design, describe a design, that's going to be your paragraph. Is blocking necessary in this case? What do you think?
Yes.
Blocking is necessary if you have a trait that you need to control because it affects what you are measuring. Is there something that affects cholesterol level in men? Weight. So then we need to control that. Hence, blocking. Okay? So, yes. Weight. Because weight affects cholesterol level. All right. Now, can this experiment be blinded? First of all, it says, can it be blinded? So, could you blind this supplement?
Yes.
Yes, you could have a real pill and a placebo pill. Does it need to be? Why not?
It doesn't say.
Because you can't affect your cholesterol.
Does not need to be because cholesterol is not psychological. Cholesterol is not psychological. Good. So hiding it from the patients is not necessary. Okay. So therefore, I want you to Bratme cap this thing on your own. I'm going to do it up here. So if you get stuck, you can look and see. I'm just going to quietly sit up here. If you just copy what I put completely, that will do nothing for your learning. So I want you to only look up here if you get stuck. Okay? So, go for it.
Are we drawing the chart or doing the paragraph?
No paragraph. Yep.
You said no paragraph or yes?
Yes, paragraph. No, you don't need to do the drawing. The Bratme cap is the paragraph. Did you get all the details in there? There it is. So check and see what you did and compare. Yes, ma'am.
I didn't think of the weight thing until I was like halfway through, so I just wanted to.
Sure, you would not be counted off if you did overweight and average weight as opposed to average and under, unless they specifically said something like that. For example, there's been a problem where they said breed of dog, and they said there's large breed, medium breed, and small breed. And then you've kind of been given the indication to do those 3 blocks. Yes. Yes, ma'am.
So it won't be like the homework we had, it didn't say anything about what kind of job they were through to, so we wouldn't be expected to block those factors out? Or would we be expected to, like, acknowledge that?
Come up
and
with
then
that on
block
your
out
own.
who
Okay.
you are? Or-
Well, since the boot one is matched pairs, and we're going to talk about that on Wednesday, then I'll kind of address that then. Okay? All right. So, again, no homework tonight, but check your stuff there. Oh, did you see I wanted you to make sure you did improvement? Okay. So, no, that's something else. Okay, so.